So hello guys, this is NoCodeLimits here, and in this tutorial we are going to solve some Snakify problems in Python. So let's get started. So don't worry if you don't know anything about Python. I would be starting from very scratch. So let's go to the browser and search Snakify, and we can create an account here, and let's solve some problems here. So we would solve here problems regarding taking input, print numbers, etc. So first problem here is sum of three numbers. So as we can read here the problem statement, we have to write a program that takes the three numbers as an input and prints their sum. So okay, this is very straightforward. So I can copy this and let's go to the one notebook. I can paste it here. From here you can read, like, we have to do what? We have to take three numbers from input from the user, and we have to print its sum. So we know, like, for printing we use print function. So okay, so we would take three numbers. Firstly, suppose the numbers I would take is A, B and C, and I have to do simply what? I have to use print function and simply print its sum. For printing sum I have to use print function, and in that I have to pass all the parameters. Like in my case there are A, B, C here. So we would get the sum of the numbers. So we would assign some values like A1, B equal to 3 and C equal to 3. So we can add these, we would get the sum as 6. So this we have to do. So let's go to the code editor and do code for this problem statement. Okay, so here we are in VS Code, and we can, if you are a new user, if you don't know how to use VS Code, then here is a button. So if you click on this, you can able to make a new file, or if you would click on this, you would be able to make a new folder. So let's make a new file. So we would click here and write the name of the file with .py extension if you have to make a Python file. So we would write here the file name as sum.py. So let's write the code for it. So as we have seen, like, we have to take three numbers from input from the user. So I have taken the first number as int, and we would use input function in Python. So input function is used for taking input from the user, and by default this input function takes input in string format, and we have to convert this input from the string to integer. So for that we would do here typecasting, and we would convert it into integer. So we would use here input function and we would convert it into integer. So same this we would do for the other variables also. Okay, and let's print it sum. No, let's pass the parameters here. Okay, so let's run the code. So I would write here input as 1, 2 and 3. So here we will get the sum as 6. So that is the thing we have to do here. Let's copy the code and go to the Snakify and paste it there. Okay, so I have pasted the code here, and I have to simply click on the run button. So here we can see these are the input cases which we have given. So if we add these numbers manually, we would get output as 11. So let's check it for all the test cases. So as I click on this button, so we get a message as correct, congratulations. So our code is working for all input cases. Yeah, so let's go to the next problem. So next problem statement is regarding strings. So basically we have to write a program that greets the person by printing the word hi and the name of the person. We have given here, see the examples below. So let's go to the one notebook and paste here the problem. Okay, we can read from here. First of all, let's see the input. So we have test case as input of the person as a name, which is John here, and we have to print its output as greeting is hi and the name of the person. So how we can do that? So let's go to the let's see here. So for, as we know, first of all we have to take name of the person from the user. So we can use input function for that. Input, and next we use print function here. So whatever we would write inside the print function within double quotes, it would be directly printed on the terminal. So we would concatenate it with the name. So that's it we have to do. We would get our desired output. So let's code it. So yeah, I would write the name of the file as name.py. Sorry for the mistake. Yeah, so first of all we have to take input of the name from the user. I would use a input function. So as we know, like by default this input function takes input in string format. So in this code we have to print simply the name of the person with greeting. So as we know, the name is basically in string format, so we can use a print statement, and in that we would define the greeting first as hi, and after that name we can pass here. So as I run the program, first of all it would ask me for entering the name of the person. So as I would write here Vishal, so I can see here the message as hi Vishal. We had some space here, so we would get perfect output. So let's again run the code. Yeah, so let's copy this code and go to our Snakify. We can paste here and run. So we are getting our desired output. So let's check our solution for all the test cases. So boom, let's see, guys, see here, we can see here correct message. So our code is working for all test cases. And next problem statement is basically about, we have to find a square of a number. So as we know, like if we have to find a square of a number, so we have to basically do what? We have to multiply the number 2 times. So we would do here the same thing. Let's delete firstly this. So yeah, so we have to write a program which would take the take say number, and we know if we have to take a number, we have to typecast our input function from string to integer, and we have to print it square. For example, if we have to print the square of 2, so we have to multiply 2 with 2 times, so we would get it square. Yeah, so let's code this, guys. So I would write the name of the file as square.py, and yeah, starting with taking an input from the user. So I would use input function here, and I would typecast it into integer. So typecasting is nothing but converting one type into another. So as we are converting here from the string to integer, so this is known as typecasting. So let's use here print statement, and if we write like this, a asterisk a, so we would get it square. So if I write number here as 5, so we would get it square as 25. So let's copy this and paste there. So basically by doing these small problems, we can increase our logical skills. So as we know, like with drops of small drops of water can fill a ocean. So only these type of problems will help to solve some big problems and all. Even by doing these problems, we are increasing our logical skills. So yeah, as I have checked my solution for all test cases, so it is showing me correct. Congratulations. So our code is working for all test cases. Yeah, so let's move towards the next problem statement. In the next problem statement, here we have to find the area of a right angle triangle. So let's see. So if we have to, as we know, like what is the basic formula for the finding the area of a square, area of a right angle triangle. So if we guys, as we know, like for find how a right angle triangle looks like, it looks like this 90-degree angle. This is our base, this is our hypotenuse, and this is our length. We can say length, breadth, something.
Hello.
And
Hello.
we are till here. So let's see what is the formula for finding the area of a
Hello.
right angle triangle. So its formula is 1/2
Hello.
base into base into
Huh?
we can see this breadth in our case. So we have to do this. So first of all, we have to take base and breadth from the user. So let's code it, guys. So this we have to apply on our code. So area dot py, I would write the name of the file, and let's code it. We have to take base as input from the user. Yeah, so we would use a input function and we would typecast it into integer, and same we would take breadth input from the user, and let's apply the formula for finding the area of a right angle triangle. So we would use a print function, and 1/2 we would use a braces, base into breadth. So boom, let's run this. It is giving me basically error as area warning string int object is not callable. Okay, so basically what is the problem here? We are having these two numbers as integers, and we can't divide it with float number. So we would write like this, get our error resolved. So let's again run the code. Yeah, so if we write base, let's check the input from the Snakify, and we would check here. So if I would write my base as 3 and breadth as 5, so if we apply these the values of base and breadth in our formula for finding the area, we would get 7.5 as our output, which is a correct one. Yeah, so let's copy this code and paste here. let's run. So we are getting correct output, so let's check it for all the solutions. Yeah, boom. So we are getting correct. Congratulations, our code is working for all test cases. Yeah, so let's move toward the next problem statement. So next problem statement is quite very straightforward. So guys, if you are not getting anything till the whole video, you can comment me. I would try more, I would put my more efforts in this and try to solve whichever problem you are facing here. So let's see this. So yeah, in this problem statement we have to see here, we have to write a program that greets the user printing hello comma separated with the name of the user, and at the end we have exclamation mark. So this problem statement is similar to the problem statement as we have seen in problem statement number 2, like this. Here we have to just only add one exclamation mark at the end of the output. So whatever we would write the name of the person, so we have to, so I guess this problem statement is too clear. So we have to basically do what here, we have to just only use the, we have to take the name input from the user, and I would use here input function. Yeah, and after that I would write simply print function, and in the print function in double quotes I would write here hello, and just concatenate it with my name, and with, at the end we have to do what, we have to use exclamation mark. So with the double colons I would write exclamation mark. So that's it, we would get our desired output. Whatever input of the name we would enter here, according to that we would see here greeting as hello. Suppose I would write here Vishal, an exclamation mark, so we would get our desired output. So let's code this, guys. So first of all we would see our output. Here we also have to add one comma, so let's code it. Yeah, I would delete this temporary file which would be generated, a mistake. Yeah, so let's start. So I would write this this file name as grid.py. So I don't know why I am writing again comma instead of writing dot. So yeah, so first of all we have to take name input from the user. So there is no need of doing typecasting here, as we know, like by default input function takes input in the string format. So I would use a simply print function, and within double quotes I would write hello comma some space, and then do a concatenation with name, and at the end we have to write exclamation mark. Yeah, so that's it. We run this. If we write here the name as Vishal, we would see this in input, and let's copy it and check does it works for all test cases or not. Yeah, I would run this, getting this output. Yeah, so why our problem statement is not working here, because our answer we are adding some extra space just in front of this name, so we have to remove this extra space. Yeah, now we would check. Yeah, boom, guys, you can see here it would work. Our code is working for all test cases. So let's next let's go to the next problem. So this problem statement is something tricky, so if you find some problem in solving this, you can comment me. I would try my best to resolve your issue. So just be focused on there. I would, yeah, So this problem statement says like we have n students and k apples, and we have to do what? We have to distribute each apple among all the students. But in case what, we have a condition here, we have to distribute evenly all the apples, and the remaining undivisible part remains in the basket. So we don't know how many apples we have, so we would take two numbers. Firstly, total number of students, so I would write it as n, and I would take it input from the user. So forgive me guys for this bad handwriting. I am new here in one notebook, so I'm trying my best to give you the best content instead of wasting my your time. So to take input from the user, and next variable we would make here, we don't know how many apples we have, so this also we would take input from the user. And after that we have to distribute all the apples evenly among the all the students. So for example, see here guys, we have to also check here that test cases. So our input is 6 and 5. Suppose we have 6 students, we have input as 6 and 50. So see here, so we have input as 6 and 50. So suppose this is the number of students and this is the number of apples. So we have to distribute, first of all we have to distribute these apples among the students evenly. So for distributing the apples evenly, we have to use floor operator. So this is the new. So there might be some students like who would be get stuck like what this is. So this is actually an operator in Python, and it is called as floor operator. So how it is different from the divide operator? So if we can compare this single slash and double slash, so this is also basically doing the same task, and this is also used for the same task. This is used for dividing. So when we divide 3 by 2, so we would get something as floating point number. Let's see, if we would divide 1.5 something, yeah. So if we use this double slash among these two numbers, so we would get like around, we would get its even as output. So if we have to check this, so in our problem statement we have to do the same thing. We have to distribute the each apples among the students evenly. So for distributing, it would this operator would give us the nearby value and the value which is even. So that's why we are using here this floor operator. So yeah, we have to divide the apples with the number of students. So we would get if we divide the 50 by 6, so we know like 50, if we divide 50 by 6, we would get how much? We would get 666. 6 is 36, 6 7 the 42, 6 8 the 48. So we would get approximately value as 8. So basically it is a even number. So if we have to distribute all the apples, we have to find also this now. So from here we would get here, so like 8 apples we have to distribute among all the students. So by this we can distribute evenly all the apples among the students. So next we have to find here what, how many apples are remaining in the basket. We have total 50 apples. So like as we know, in our case we are left here with the 2 apples. So we have to find this also. So you can match here, like we have 6 students and 50 apples, and we have distributed 8 apples among all the students, and how many remaining are there? As we know, like 2 in our case. So if we subtract 50 from 48 minus 48, so we will get to know like there are 2 remaining. So we have to apply the logic for this. So next we have to find like how we can find the remaining. So for that we have to use this modulo operator. So it would basically tells us the remainder. So this modulo operator is very much important, and it is also the new for some students kind of. So if we do modulus of anything, for example 3 modulus of 2, so we would get its remainder. So as we divide 3 with 2, so we would get its remainder. So as we know, like 2 into 1 we would do, so we would get 2, and its remainder is 1, so we would get 1 as our answer. So yeah, so we would get to know here, if we do 50 modulus of 6, so we would get its answer as 2. You can also do basic calculations yourself also on the notebook, so I can show you here on the code also. So let's make this file. I would write its name as apple.py, and 2 things we have to take input from the user. First one is the how many number of students, so I would write here the number of students as n, and I would use a input function. So I would convert this input into a integer. Yeah, next what we have to do, we have to take the number of apples we have input from the user. So I would use variable as a for the apples, and next we have to use a print statement. For example, as I have told you, like if we have to do I can show you, like I have said in the one notebook, if we do like whatever what are our test cases, 6 number of students and 50 is the number of apples. If you do 50 floor of 6, so we would get output as 8. So see here, so we would from here we would get to know, like if we have to divide evenly all the apples among all the students, so we have to give 8 apples to each student. So this floor operator basically gives us as output evenly, like which number is, when we divide something to any number, so we would get its near even number in output. So if we in contrast with the modulus operator, so if we instead of this floor operator, if I can replace it with the modulus operator, so I would get to know, like there are total 50 apples, so we have to also find that how many apples are remaining in our basket. So for that we have to use this modulus operator. If we do modulus of any number, we would get its remainder. So if we divide 50 by 6, we would get its remainder as 2, so we would get this in as our output. So as we run this, we would get to see here as output as 2. So yeah, we can uncomment this, and yeah, we can replace the 50 with a number of apples and 6 with number of students. Modulus of n. So let's run this and check is we are getting correct output or not. So from here I would copy this test cases, so let's paste it into the VS Code. So boom guys, we would get the output as correct. So let's copy this code and paste it on the Snakify and check like is our code is working for all test cases or not. So as I would run this code, I'm getting this as output and I would check it for all solution. So boom guys, we are seeing here the message is correct, congratulations, and our code is working for all test cases. So let's move towards the next problem statement. So next problem statement is regarding previous and input. Yeah, so we have to see, I would copy this problem statement and paste it on the one notebook. So this might be getting too much dirty, so let's make a new note here. I would change its view from blank to add some lines here. So let's paste the problem statement here. Yeah, so problem statement says basically what we have to write a program that reads an input integer and we have to print its previous and next number. Okay, so we would see like this is the number of test cases. So if we add here input from the user as 179, we have to find its next number. As we know, like 179 next number is 180 and the number previous to the 179 is 178. You have to find this. So let's code it guys. So we have to do nothing, but we have to just only, so let's write first of all the name of the file as previous. I would write here and .py. Okay, so as we know, like we have to take any number from the user, input from the user. So I would write here as, suppose A is in my case, so I would take input from the user, and next I have to find its number next to it. I would write here in double columns the number which is next to it. Yeah, I would copy this and I would paste here the number next for the number whatever user will enter. User will enter is basically what we have to do, A plus 1. So here we have to do what, we have to add concatenation and we have to convert this string input to integer input. So I would use a int, yeah, let's repeat this line, and at this time we have to write here previous number, and for that we have to do minus. So if we run this, first of all we have to write number. So if I would write the same number as we have seen on the test cases, so press enter, it is giving me error as the number, the next number for the number A is int A plus 1. So basically can only concatenate string, not integer. Yeah, so we here what problem we are getting here, we would not concatenate an integer number with string. So as we know, like if we have to do concatenation, we can do only with the strings. So we can't concatenate an integer to the string. So we have to remove this integer from here. And even see, yeah, so we have to add the first line only, we have to typecast it. We can check like if we can't do this, so what happened. So as I run this, if I would write here 179, it is saying again me error, it is again giving me error. Why? Okay, I have to do here typecasting. run it and I would write the number. Let me check. Is okay. I am doing concatenate here and doing let's just wait. I have to, yeah, this number, and if I would write a plus 1 and a minus 1, so basically I would not use okay, I would convert here, like as we see here, whatever a from the first line of the code we are getting here as reference, so it is in integer. So we are trying to concatenate an integer with a string, so it is not possible, so that's why our code is giving us an error. So if we can convert it into string, so str is a function basically which is used for converting integer into string. So if we normally type str and these braces, we can convert an integer to string. So if we run this code this time, so we would not get that error which we are getting previously. So we can see here, for making better our code, we can give spaces just behind the is and just forward the just in front of the is also. So yeah, we have to also add one comma dot just next as we are printing output. So I would concatenate, then double quotes I would write one dot. So again I would write if the same number, I am getting my output as exact. So I would copy this code and I would paste the Snakify. Yeah, if I would run this, I am getting output as this. So this is the output which we want. So if I would check this for all test cases, so why it is not accepting the answer, like the number 117, next number is 180. Okay, why not my code is working? So we match correct answer with our output. So what we are getting, the previous number 1 and minus 1, 199. So why we are getting here wrong solution? So I find the problem, which problem we are getting here, why our solution is wrong. Here you can see here in our answer what we are getting, our p is large and we have to run for this small p test case. So here the previous p we have to make it small here. So as we have written here capital P. So whatever within double quotes we can write here, it is as it is gets printed on screen. So if we right now we would run for all the test cases, would be able to see here, guys, boom. So this problem statement is also too sticky, even we get stuck here, even we get so many problems here, but still we have done this. So next problem statement is 2 timestamps. So this problem statement says like a timestamp is of 3 numbers, we need to print its output. So let's go to the one notebook and paste the problem statement here. Yeah, here we can able to read the problem statement. Firstly let's see the input. So this is our input, so I would paste it here. Okay, Yeah, so let's see. We have to see we have to make a program for the timestamp. So a timestamp is of three numbers, as we know, like a number of hours, minutes and seconds. So we have a given two timestamps. So first of all we have to do what here? We can write it pseudocode. So we have to take input given two timestamps here. So basically we have to take input from the user for the two timestamps, and our timestamp format is basically as a like we have to take first of all hours, minutes and then seconds. So first of all we would take hours, and then take input from the user in um, integer format. So I would use a int and then typecast the string. Then same I think I would do for the minutes also, same, repeat it, and then for the seconds also. And for the second timestamp I would do the same. Instead I would just change the variable names from hours to hours1, and same thing I would write here also. For the minutes I would write the same thing, for the second also I would write the same things. So basically what is the logic here? As we know, like so see, these are the test cases which we have given here. If you can see, for we have two timestamps. So this first one input matches with hours, so we have 1 hour. So we have to find the first timestamp occurred before the moment of the timestamp. So for this is our hour, this is our minutes. So as basically the time format is as it is, like we have first of all we have hours, then minutes and then seconds. So in our case, for the first timestamp, see this three numbers. This is for the first timestamp. Our hour is 1, minute is also 1, and second is also 1. Yeah, so if I as we know, like in 1 hour there are 60 minutes. So in 60 minutes there are, in every minute there are 60 seconds. So if we multiply 60 into 60, we would get 3600. So we would get to know from here, like in 1 hour there are 3600 seconds. So we can multiply it, and let's add. So in 1 minute we know, like there are 60 seconds. Would also add it, and at the last we have only 1 minute, one second, sorry. So if we add all these, so we would get 600 plus 60 into 60 plus 1, then 61. So we would get here as 6661 for the first timestamp. And similarly for the second timestamp we can find from here 2 into 3600, and then add plus 2 into 60 plus 2. So if we calculate this, so we would get here as 7200 plus 120. Yeah, 120 plus 2. If I add all these, so I would get as 7200, 120 and 2 would get as 7 2 2 3 and this 7. If I subtract 7322 from 3661, I would get my answer as, if I subtract 2 from 1, 1, 12 from 6, 6, and here 12 remaining. Again I would get here 6, and from the 6 if I would subtract 3, I would get this. So we would get this 3 6 6 1. So if we would match with our input, our answer would also, which we are getting for the first test case, is what? 3661. So this we have to find, we have to write a code for it. So simply before moving towards the code editor, first of all I would, if you are not still much familiar with the problem statement, I would again repeat it. So basically we are doing here what we have to find the seconds, like the moment of the first timestamp. As we have here have two timestamps, like this is our first timestamp and this is our second timestamp. So we have a proper format given here. So first one is for hours, second minutes, then seconds. So we have to apply the formula as I have shown to you. So then we have to find the like how many seconds in between them. So for finding the seconds between them, we have to do subtract. So that's why we have subtracted like the timestamp of the second from the first. So let's code it, guys. So I would write the problem statement name as stamp dot py. So here we have to take two numbers in three numbers input from the user. First one is R1. I would convert it into integer. Okay, then I would repeat it 3 times. So this is next input for minutes, and this is for seconds. I have written as like minute 1, second 1. So this 3 lines again I would repeat for the second timestamp also. And next we have to apply the logic. So we would use a print statement. So what is our logic? I would use a absolute function. Absolute function means like if we subtract timestamp of the second number, as we know, like this is our bigger term as compared to this term. If we subtract first number from the second, even we would get the value of our answer in negative, but by using absolute function it would print the positive number. It would change it from the negative to positive. So that's why we are using here absolute function. So I would write an absolute function, and then in the first timestamp or 1, we would multiply it with seconds in 1 hour. So there are 3600 seconds, plus I would write here minute 1 into, so there are 60 seconds plus second 1. So this is the timestamp for the first one timestamp, and then I would do what I would do subtraction, and then subtract it from the or second into 3600. Yeah, so let's run our code, guys. So if I would check for my test cases, wait, yeah, see guys, we are getting desired output, whatever we want. So I would copy this code from here and I would paste on the Snakify. Yeah, so I will run this. So we are getting this, and we would check our solution for all test cases. So see here, guys, our code is working for all input cases. So next, this is our last problem statement of the video. So next, yeah, so I would copy this problem statement. So this problem statement is also some tricky problem statement. So I would make a new node here. So I would paste it here. Okay, see guys here. So it is saying like a school decided to replace the desks in the three classrooms. So first of all we have to take input from the user for the three classes. So A for class 1, B for class 2 and C for. So as I have told you from the first problem statement how we can take input from the user using input function, so same I would apply here. I would take input from the user for all the classes. So next I have to replace the dexes. So one more input we have to take, like for the dexes, even we don't know how many dexes are there, so we would take an input for the dexes also from the user. Okay, so here is the condition given as like each dex sits two students. So as we have done the problem statement of apples, we have noticed there like we have to divide the apples among the students as evenly. So same condition we have to apply here. We have to use floor operator. So we know like if we use floor operator between the numbers, so we would get its even number. So it works as divide operator. So we would apply floor operator between all the numbers which we have taken input from the user. Okay, so then we have to find the given number of students in the each class. So we have to find the maximum possible number of desks that can be purchased. So if we would buy like even see here whatever input we have given here, yeah, see we have input as such. I would paste here, yeah, 20, 21, 22, yeah. So as I have told you like this thing I have told you wrong, like this number of dexes. So only I would take the classes input from the user. So if I would add these three numbers like 20 plus 21 plus 22, I would get something as 20, 20, 40, 40 so basically we have to find output as 32. So basically see here like I have to find the smallest possible number of decks, and even we have to divide even on each desk 2 students can sit. So this number of students are there in the class. If we apply floor operator like among the students in the class A, okay, like 20, yeah. So see here if we would apply as such logic like whatever students in the class A, we know like only 2 students can sit on each desk, on one desk we can say. So we would use floor operator and divide our class with 2. So we would by this only we can able to find like even number of students can sit in a class. Even same for all the classes we can do here. For the class B we would use a floor operator and divide it by 2. Similarly for the class 3 also. So we would cut our output as if we divide the 2, so we would 20 by 2. So the even number we would get is 10. So we would write here 10 plus the, if we divide 21 by 2, so we would also get the same number as 10. So we know like there are 21 students. So if we on each text, if two students can sit, so one student gets remaining. So this is also one test case, like we have to take care of it. So next we have how many students? 22 students. So if we do divide 22 by 2, we would get 11. So the even number nearest to 11 is 10. So here how many remaining? Like two. If we calculate all these, we would get 30. So even we have to get output as 32. So for this we like here we are seeing here, like there are some cases where there are odd number of students in the class. So for that, as we know, like if we do the modulus of any value with 2, we would find its remainder. So as we are getting remainder as 2 in this case, if we divide 21 by 2, 22, if we here we are getting we are getting a remainder when we divide 21 by 2, we are getting remainder as 1. So if we do like this, a modulus of 2, we would get this remainder as 1. And if we do for b, even if we do a modulus of 2, we would get its remainder as 0. So for that there is no need to write it. So if we try to do same thing for the c, if we do the c modulus of 2, we would get as 1. So if we add this 30 and this 2, so we would get our desired output as 32. So I guess guys you understand the problem very much. So if you feel like this problem statement is too hard, so don't worry, it is not too much hard. Watch the video again, you will be get cleared with this problem statement. So let's move to our code editor and let's code the problem statement. So our problem statement name is basically what? School X. So let's write the school tests dot py. So as we know, like we have to take 3 classes input from the user. I would write here input function and take input from the user. This line of code same I would repeat for the 3 classes. So next basically what I have to do, I would write here print statement. The print statement I have to write the whole logic, as I have told you, like I have to do individually each class dividation with 2. So from here we would get even number, like as we know, like on each text only 2 students can sit. So from here we can get our even number of students. Yeah, so we can do for all the classes same thing, plus c floor of 2 and next what we have to do here, as I have told you in the example, if we have odd number of students in the class. So for that we have to find, like as we know, like only 2 students can sit on each text. So what about the remaining students? If one is remaining, then where it would sit. So for that we have to find for that also. So for that we would do simply use Modulus Operator and do this for this all classes. Only that much of lines we have to write here. And as I would run this code, so let's copy the input from the Snakify and paste in our code editor. Yeah, see guys, we are getting our desired output. If I would copy this code and check for all test cases, what it would show me, we are getting the desired output as 32. Yeah guys, boom. So it is giving me correct output, and it is working for all the test cases. So that's it for this video. Even if you find this video helpful, please keep support. And even doing these small problems, we can increase our logic skills. And like even you are also seeing like I am also getting stuck somewhere and I have to solve that issue. So no one is pro, so we have to start from the very scratch always. So try to code, and if you are facing any problem, like whatever problem statements I have solved here, you can comment me. I would also provide the code for this problem statement in the description. Even if you need more help, I would be post more videos regarding Snakify. I would try to solve all these problems which are here. So till then, keep watching.